everybody. My name is Rajul. As you can see on the screen, it is little more than 3:30 in the afternoon for me. Maybe the times are different for you. So would you like to say hello and put in the time zone that you're in and where you're from? If you wish to. Okay, I can see some responses in the chat box. Okay. Right. So, oh, there are people from all over. So somebody saying they're in Portugal, Egypt, where it's afternoon, 5 a.m. in the morning. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much for attending so early in the morning. What a way to start your day. Okay. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everybody, as the case may be. This is one of the reasons why I ask you all to put in your time frame so that I can wish you all correctly. Okay, let's get started with today's webinar. I hope you all can see my screen. If you can you just put in a yes in the chat box? Just a Y will do. Okay, thank you all so much. It looks like you all can see my screen. So let's continue. Now, what are we looking at today? We are looking at the webinar, Live25 webinar for used to as infinitive to talk about past habits. So this is a grammar webinar. Remember, we also have pronunciation webinars. So grammar and pronunciation, both of them wonderful additions to your language learning, quite important in fact. So one of the reasons why you should attend Live25 webinars. Another reason, they're only 25 minutes each, so they don't take up a lot of your time. And a really fantastic reason is that they are zero credit, which means that they are free. So try and attend as many webinars as your package allows you to attend. Now, I will be sharing the PDF with you at the end of the session. I will upload it in the chat box. Please download it and open it or check to see if it opens. You will also have received a PDF from the support team on your student portal when you booked this session. Okay. At this point in time, I also tell everybody that it's a good idea to create a folder on any device that you are using and save the PDF so that whenever you see them, whenever you want to confirm something, check something, they're easily available. Okay, so I have a question for you. I'd like you to put your answers in the chat box. And similarly, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. I'll answer them as we go along. So here's the first question for you. How many different ways can we talk about the past in English? Answers in the chat box, please. Okay, I can see lots of answers coming up. Okay, numbers. Thank you all very much, but I really want to know what those numbers mean. So somebody, I think I recognize this name from previous seminar. Perfect simple, perfect continuous. To talk about the past. Okay, past continuous, perfect continuous, perfect simple. Okay, there must be some other ways as well. These are just two. Past perfect, past simple, past continuous. Okay, I wouldn't really include past perfect continuous, but all right. We can also use the past with modal verbs, which is could, would, could have, might have, may have. So past simple, correct, past perfect, correct, past continuous, correct, past with modal verbs, as I have mentioned. Uh, yes, and past continuous. Well, I think I've already mentioned past continuous. Good, well done. Let's have a look at the meaning and use of our expression used to for today. Now, because I'm going to say we use used to, and I'm going to do that quite often, the expression which you see highlighted, I'm going to emphasize it a little bit to separate it from the common use. Okay, so I'm going to say used to. Okay, but that's not the way you all should be pronouncing it. You all should just naturally say used to. Yeah, I am only going to emphasize it for your understanding. Okay, so we use used plus infinitive to talk about a past situation that is no longer true. It tells us that there was a repeated action in the past or state in the past which has now changed. So let's have a look at a couple of examples in both the situations. My brother used to run 5 miles every day. Well, he used to run 5 miles every day. Does he do it now? No, he doesn't do it anymore. We are talking about a past situation that is no longer true. I didn't used to go to bed early, but now I have to for my job. Here I didn't say used it because we have got didn't. So didn't is already the past tense. Okay, I'm just going to highlight it. Didn't is already the past tense. So over here we use used to. Remember, these two words are always used together. Used to or used to. I didn't used to go to bed early, but now I have to for my job. So all the expressions in used to are highlighted in yellow, and the infinitive is highlighted in blue, kind of color coded to make it easier for you to understand what is there on my screen. Now let us talk about states. What is states? It is a situation without an action happening. And you cannot use this state in the present continuous form. For example, I didn't know the answer, not I'm not knowing the answer. She really likes you, not she's really liking you. Okay, so what are the examples that we have over here with used to? Britain used to be a part of the European Union. I used to have a garden. Okay, so again, we are talking about a past situation which does not exist anymore. Let's move on from here on to the next one. I see one question coming up. Past with passive voice. Okay, thank you. Uh, Now, let's look at the form. Used to has no present form or any other form. As I previously mentioned, these two words are used together only when we use didn't, didn't. At that point in time, we only use it as used to without the D. Now, let's look at the different forms. Positive, How do we make a positive sentence? I used to live in London. Okay. Do I live there anymore? Please help me with some answers in the chat box. Okay, I don't live there anymore. Negative. I didn't used to live in London. I didn't used to live in London. Question. Did you used to live in London? So do you see how we avoid using D over here when we have D, when we have did and when we have didn't? How can we talk about an usual activity that we have in the present? Okay, Elena, if time permits, I will respond to your question because right now we are referring to past actions that don't exist anymore. Okay, I'm making a note of it. I'll come back to it a little later because this will move us away from our webinar for today. Let's go and check your understanding. Does used to plus infinitive refer to the past? Okay. Is the situation the same now? Okay. Right. It doesn't exist anymore. We are talking about past habits. Does it refer to a single action? Okay, it could refer to a single action, but routinely used. Yes, past habits. So something that was repeated many times. Okay, all right. So now, just a little bit of caution. Remember, used to plus infinitive and the verb be or get plus used to plus ing look similar, but they have very different uses. When I say the verb be, remember the verb be has 8 different forms: am, is, are, was, were, be, been, and being. So since we are talking about the past, we would refer to was. Yeah. So I didn't used to have a full-time job, meaning to say that at some point in time in the past, I didn't have a full-time job, but now I do. So a situation that existed in the past is not existing anymore. Let's look at the second one. I wasn't used to having a full-time job. Now here we are not using used to refer to past actions, to what this whole webinar is about. It is just a standard expression. So here it means that having a full-time job was a new and difficult experience for me. I hadn't done it before. So I hope you see the difference between the two. Moving on, comparison with other structures. Remember, used to has no present form. He used to play tennis, that was in the past. He plays tennis, which is in the present. Now, here is the response to the question. I think it was Maria that had asked, how can we talk about usual activity that we have in the present? So remember, whenever we are talking about routine activities, whenever we are talking about facts, we use the simple present. He plays tennis. Usual activity. It is a fact. It is routine. So I hope I have answered your question. We cannot use used to for interrupted past actions, or to say what happened at a past time, meaning with a time frame, how long it took, or how many times it happened. Yeah. So, for example, I used to walk my dog when my mobile rang. No, that is not correct. So, what can we get rid of? What can we avoid? If I say I used to walk my dog, would it be right to say I used to walk my dog? Remember, we are using used to. Okay, so since we are using used to, we cannot use it with a time frame. We cannot use it for interrupted past actions. We cannot say how many times we do something. So, Hiba, if you say, I was walking my dog, yeah, it is just a continuous tense. This has got nothing to used to. I used to walk my dog, not walking my dog. Yeah. So it was and no continuous now. So I used to walk my dog would be correct. I used to study hard would be correct. I used to live in Singapore would be correct. I used to go to the supermarket would be correct without the time frames. Remember, we do not use the time frames when we talk about past actions which don't happen anymore, which are not true anymore. So we ignore when my mobile rang last month, for 2 years, 3 times last week. Okay. So the what is the grammar tip? Used to is for past habits and states that have changed, that no longer exist anymore. The situation is not there anymore. Okay. How about you all give me some quick examples in the chat box using used to. So now what is the correct pronunciation? Used to, used to, used to. Okay. So, Elena, no time frame. We are discussing no time frame. It is there in front of you on the screen. It is cancelled out. Yeah. So I used, if I see any sentences which require correction, I will. Otherwise, I will just let it go. Anna, when I was a teen, is not required. The minute you say I used to, that means you're talking about past habits which don't exist anymore. You don't do those actions anymore. Okay? All right, great. So now, yeah. So all the people who have said, I used to play football, I used to play volleyball, um, you don't play those games anymore. Somebody who has said, I used to work in the central bank, meaning the person doesn't work in central bank anymore. So remember, no continuous, no interrupted past actions, no time frames, no number of times, etc., etc. Please have a look at this slide. Check it out at leisure later. Okay, now try to find the mistakes over here. And while you all are doing that, I'm going to put the PDF in the chat box, as well as I'm going to give you all a link which you could check out later. Okay. So here is the link. Okay. Did you used to smoke is absolutely correct. Well done. Because we have did, we don't use used. We use did you used to smoke. Correct. There didn't used to be a cafe on the street. Emma, one second. Hold on one moment. Somebody, Inad, did you used to smoke? Okay, nice question. Did you used to smoke? Without the D is correct. Now let's look at the second one. And while you do that, one second, let me just put the PDF in the chat box. I used to swim. I used to go swimming. Where is swimming? Okay, it's the last one. I used to go swimming. Okay. I used to go swimming. I used to watch TV. Or if you're not using used to, then we say, I was watching TV when the doorbell rang. Okay. Marwa, it will always be, I used to go swimming, because the infinitive is go, and swimming over here becomes like a gerund, where we are using the noun as a verb. There wasn't used to be a cafe. Okay. So here are the answers. There used to be a cafe on the street, so it's no longer existing. Did you used to smoke? We've got did, so we remove the D. I was watching TV when the doorbell rang, or I used to watch TV. I used to go, I used to go swimming every Saturday. Okay, all right. So, everybody, thank you all for attending this webinar. I hope you all have downloaded the PDF and that you all can open it. So, now that you have the PDF, also please check out these last 3 slides. Yeah, to know where you can use your newfound knowledge, in which class and at which level. Okay, all right. And do check out the link also that I have shared with you. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye. Bye.